quick ones for you, or two subjects for you, Corinne. Thank you. What is there any change in the White House's involvement in this ongoing attempt to get back to missing Americans in Ukraine, or any coordination with the Ukrainian government trying to do so? And has the president either been in touch with or sought to speak with their families?
So we can't confirm these reports. We don't know where their whereabouts are. We are working very hard to learn more about this, about their.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
About these Americans who are now missing. Our hearts go out to their families during this difficult time that they're going through. It's worth repeating, and we have said this many times, that it is not the time to go to it's not the time for Americans to go to Ukraine during this time of war. The State Department has put out numerous travel advisories warning Americans not to travel there, and urging Americans to leave immediately if you are.
My God.
You mentioned the president's the former chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. He was involved in the confirmation of Clarence Thomas. There are reports this morning about his wife and her interactions with John Eastman, the attorney who was pushing the idea that Vice President Pence could do something to block the certification. And now the January 6th committee says they are planning to talk to her. Does the president have any concern about Justice Thomas continuing to serve on the court, or would he perhaps suggest that he should recuse himself from any cases that come before it regarding January 6th?
So that is something that the court has to decide. That is not for us to comment on. I can say this: we have full confidence in the Select Committee, January 6th Select Committee, and it is for them to decide how they're going to move forward on their particular process that they're going through.
Plan to watch the hearings today or in the coming days?
Well, I think he had said this before, and I've said this a couple days ago. He's probably going to catch it here and there. He has a busy schedule. I'm sure folks around him, his senior staff, will update him as needed.
There are reports the White House is weighing a series of executive actions if Roe is overturned, things like a national health emergency or fighting state efforts to criminalize travel for abortion. Can you confirm these things are under consideration? Are there other actions you're looking at?
So the administration continues to explore every possible option in response to the anticipated Supreme Court decision in Dobbs, which would take away women's rights guaranteed for nearly 50 years under Roe v. Wade.
Come on, you girls. We got dinner.
What?
Get on a bus.
What did he say?
To make their own choices about their reproductive health. If the Supreme Court overturns Roe, we will need Congress to take action to restore Roe. I don't have anything else to share on that.
Oh, right.
And the president's meeting yesterday with Schumer and Pelosi, did that yield any new plans on how to fight inflation? And why wasn't this meeting on the president's public schedule ahead of time?
It was a private meeting that the president had. We don't advise all the meetings, just like his conversations that he has with members of Congress. I'm not going to go into detail what was discussed, but he has regular conversations with members of Congress. Okay.
On housing, Corinne,
Yeah.
Given the rising interest rates for mortgages, can you say if the White House is concerned about housing affordability or a slowdown in the housing market? As you know, rates for the 30-year mortgage averaged nearly 6% this week, and that jump by more than half a percentage point was the largest one-week increase since 1987.
Wow.
So we know that housing affordability is a central challenge for families. The president understands that, and this is why he's put forward the Housing Supply Action Plan, which includes steps to help boost housing supply and ease the burden of housing costs on families over time. So now with the federal actions constitute monetary policy, as we know, which is different. Monetary policy actions help bring inflation down as mortgage rates increase. Demand in the housing market should cool. This is part of our transition to stable and steady growth with lower inflation. That is the kind of economy that delivers for working families. But again, we have that's why the president put forth the Housing Action Plan as well, to help families as much best that he can.
Corinne, I know this has come up a number of times in recent weeks. The question about tariffs and when a decision specifically regarding China and exclusions might be made. And I guess I'm wondering, can you give us any sense of sort of what is under consideration and what possible timeline we might be looking at?
So we don't have anything to share or preview at this time. It is under consideration. We are discussing this. We just don't have anything for you to share at this
Nothing
point.
about what is being considered?
No, not at this time.
Hey, Corinne, not to belabor this too much longer, but can you articulate a little bit when the White House is committing to releasing results of the president's testing? Because it's not only the cadence that we're asking about, it's when the last time he tested negative.
No, I understand, and so what I'm trying to say, and this is in consultation with his doctor. The president has a regular testing cadence. We have said before that he tests weekly. And again, as we've said many times, if it were to be a close contact, as defined by the CDC,
I don't even get that. What?
we would update his testing cadence accordingly and share that. We would share what that would look like and be transparent about that. He has not had a close contact. Because he has not had a close contact, we have not changed
Seriously.
that cadence. And it's something that happens with his doctor. I do not have a date for you as to when he was last tested.
Has he ever tested positive?
No, he has not. Not that I know of. We would share that. I think that is something we would share because then that would change his testing cadence clearly if he had a close contact, and so we would share that with you and be transparent about that. We would be transparent about that.